So this is another subspecies of THAMNOPHIS sirtalis. This is the THAMNOPHIS sirtalis concinnuus, the Oregon red-spotted garter snake. It's really incredibly beautiful, and I still remember the first time that I saw this subspecies in the wild. Because when I started keeping garter snakes, nobody ever had seen this one alive and knew how beautiful they were. And when I saw this beautiful snake like this crawling over the road in Oregon, I really couldn't believe my eyes how beautiful they are. They're deep black with bright red spots, and the lateral stripe is lacking, as you can see, although there are some populations where they have lateral stripes. And then the dorsal stripe is yellow, and the head becomes very nice red. And also the chin is reddish. This is still a small baby. This one is only a couple of months old, born in May. And well, it's a very docile snake. If you compare it to the California red-sided snake, garter snake, it's I would say way easier to keep, way more docile. Feeds extremely well on mice, and in the wild there are probably populations that feed exclusively on mice. They need a hibernation, just like the other Americans, so about three months is enough. And they have 1 litter a year. So the adults are already sleeping. We are now end of August, so I just put my adults in hibernation 3 weeks ago. So my adults will be out somewhere August, September, October, yeah, early November probably. So last year they were out in January, but yeah, because I don't want to hibernate them too long, and they stopped eating already, the adults. So I thought, well, let's listen to the snakes and just put them in hibernation.
So very beautiful species.
Yes, very beautiful. And of course I cannot choose which is the most beautiful one, but I would say this one ranks very high. This is for sure the most famous garter snake of all. The San Francisco garter snake, THAMNOPHIS SIRTALIS TETRATAENIA. With its unique pattern of 3 bluish stripes, bordered by narrow black stripes, and then in the middle a beautiful red stripe.
This is the most iconic snake.
This is the most iconic snake. Everybody has heard about it, and a lot of people say, well, this is the most beautiful garter snake of the world, or of the US, but they only live in the US, of course. And of course, yeah, well, it depends on taste, but for sure they are very beautiful, with their very vivid coloration, and they only occur in a very small area on the California coast around San Francisco, where they still occur in good numbers. I've been lucky enough to observe them a few times in the wild, which was quite remarkable, because I knew how rare they were, but I managed to find a few. All the snakes in captivity, they all originate from the zoo in Jersey, in England. They later gave snakes to Rotterdam in the Netherlands, and to other zoos in Europe. And it was somewhere in 1996 that I got some babies in breeding loan from the Rotterdam Zoo to start breeding. This one doesn't originate directly from that, because I've bred them for several years, and then I lost them, and then 4 years ago I was able to get some new babies. These are bred in quite good numbers in Europe, so there are a lot of breeders. There was a time that everybody said, well, it's going very bad and we have a lot of inbreeding problems. But it almost looks like we went through a sort of a period with a lot of inbreeding problems, and that a lot of people had snakes that died very early. But in the end, several people had several lines, and it looks like the ones that survived are becoming stronger again. So more and more people are able to breed successfully with the San Francisco garter snake. And I bought this from a German friend. And what he did is he bought babies from 4 or 5 breeders, and so collected the breeding group from, of course they all originate from the same source, but they have been kept in different groups for about well, almost 30 years, so an X number of populations, generations, sorry, and yeah, and they're doing fine again.
And so they are known to be found in the wild next to the airport of San Francisco.
Yeah, there's a big population there. Yeah, and yeah, the Americans are jealous of the Europeans because in Europe we can keep them legally,
which is not the case there.
And in America, it's absolutely forbidden to keep this subspecies. So, as a European and as a Frenchman, you are very happy to be able to keep these ones in captivity and try to breed them.
Okay, very nice. So well, I think it's okay. Thanks, Steven, for welcoming us and for explaining us such amazing content, you know. And I think people will like it. And well, I'll see you next time. Now it's time for us to get the snakes. You know,
yes.
I've decided to choose and to go back to France. So well.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Clément.
Thank you.
Bye bye.